U.S. military strikes on boats in the Caribbean have killed at least 87 people in what the Trump administration says are operations against drug traffickers. But Washington has provided little information about who was killed in these strikes or what the boats were carrying. Among the grieving is Chad Joseph's family. They told Reuters they believe the 26-year-old Trinidadian fisherman was killed in a strike in October that destroyed all evidence of who and what was on the boat. Joseph's family said he had gone to Venezuela, where he also had relatives, to find work 6 months before the strike. His uncle, Columbia Salvary, is demanding answers about his death.
You cannot be bombing people boats, like that, and saying international water and saying narco trafficking and raise your proof, you know? Raise your proof.
The demand for proof is echoed by an environmental group from Trinidad and Tobago that is calling these operations into question. Gary Aboud is Secretary of Fishermen and Friends of the Sea.
You cannot just kill people and then talk about it in a loose term. These are people that someone loves, someone gave birth to and raised. We must have compassion for humanity. There's no evidence that any of these vessels are actually carrying narcotics. There's no evidence.
Aboud said his group supports efforts against drug trafficking, but also pressed the U.S. government for a different approach.
We support the effort of narcotic interdiction. We support the effort of tightening our borders, having working radars and working vessels, well equipped with men that are trained. But nobody's training our men. They're not putting in radars to see vessels that are moving on the water. They're putting in radars to see missiles that are in the sky. Why are we preparing for war?
Legal experts questioned why the military is involved instead of the Coast Guard and why deadly force was the first option. Amid questions about the legality of the actions, Trump has said the strikes against the alleged drug boats will continue.
Anybody that's doing that and selling it into our country is subject to attack.
But for Aboud, the issue goes beyond legal questions.
I only am confused. Why isn't there 10 million Americans marching on Washington? Why are the American people sleeping? I can't understand. Everybody's afraid. Certainly somebody must not be afraid.